honored to be a guest for 1 month
Okay, so let me.
of the Boutros Ghali family.
If you converted in 2003 and you broke ranks with the Illuminatis in 2006, then you were a Muslim Illuminati for 3 years?
And that was the big problem that was creating for me and my family, because unfortunately my family, at least my original family, is not Muslim, is Catholic, and they have been Catholic for 1,000 years and more. So obviously this considered by some a problem, but at the same time you have to understand that my family, the Gregorio family, if you go and study in the books, has been in charge of the Knights of Malta in Sicily for many hundreds of years. So I have been part of their hierarchy naturally by being born inside, because you have to understand that Freemasonry is an object under the knighthoods. The knighthoods are standing there for the chivalry which comes from the aristocracy, and so it's the aristocracy in control of the whole pyramid. That is the occult power of the pyramid, the aristocracy. That has been ruling the world since immemorable time, and we know that, obviously. But why now, you were asking before, why now the whole thing should come down?
Yes.
Because the resources are finishing, and there is trouble on top. And I came out of it when I saw that the people on top were not capable of any solutions for what is coming up.
Okay, so now tell me about you converting to Islam. Why?
Yes.
What did you see in
I converted to
Islam?
Islam because I met with the Dr. Safwat. Dr. Safwat is a very particular guy. He works for the Boutros Ghali family. He is the director of the Esoteric Center in New York, with a 104-year-old big guy behind him. And Dr. Safwat is the guy who has exorcised the United Nations building. And through him, I went first in Egypt to study the real nature of Jesus. I wanted to understand really who Jesus was. Jesus, I discovered him to be a man, a prophet, but not a god. I discovered the great lie of the Council of Nicaea was the biggest lie in history. So I thought from that time onwards, I want to become Muslim. And I also was following the teachings of Said Nursi. I started following at that time the teaching of Said Nursi, which was a special guy in the context of Islam, Anatolian Islam, which is about dialogue and interreligious understanding. It is not about fundamentalism and ignorance. I also have a wife who is a Sufi student, comes from a specific family. She's a pure Sayyid, and she herself has taught me to understand more the real nature of Islam. I have come to understand that at the end of the day, Islam was incompatible with the Illuminati after 3 years of fighting it. I was arrested 3 times in the meantime, and because I attempted to rebel, but every time they were arresting and then offering me other things, other possibilities, other degrees, other villas, other whatever I wanted. Our Monte Carlo connection, which is Ezio Giunchiglia, who is one of the big bosses behind the Rockefellers banking. And Ezio Giunchiglia was in charge with Marcinkus of the P2 banking. So you can imagine what kind of people I was working with. We are talking here about the people on the top level of the Vatican establishment, which is driven by the Jesuits.
So are you in hiding now? Are you afraid for your life?
A lot of people ask me if I'm afraid for my life, but in the last few months, my dear friend, I've been able to come out and tell all my story with the support of my family and the support of the family of my wife. And thanks God, apart from one attempt, they came here, the police came, they shut down my website at the beginning of December, my old website. My new website is illuminaticonfessions.webfriend.it, and it's open now. But the previous one at squarespace.com was closed down after the Illuminati basically closed it down. And at the same time, the day after, the police came to my door. They threatened me to take my children. They threatened me, they threatened my wife, and the police did this. But soon after, immediately after, the day after, I went onto the radio, went to the newspapers, I went to the alternative media, and I said what was happening to me. And people were very kind. With the help of some very good people, I managed to set back the website in a record time. Since then, also, they have backed off from me because I have demonstrated that I'm not taking anything from them, and I'm not taking the threats. So if they come to my house and say they're going to take my children, yeah, pass on my body before, because I'm going to kill anybody that attempts next time to come here and makes such claims. I want your website to be shut down because it's offensive to certain people who are powerful. Who cares if it's offensive to certain people who are powerful? They get the shit for what they're working with. That's it. They have been sinning against
you
God.
are working on you're working on like a tour and speeches in the United States. You trying to arrange some of that?
Yes, we are trying. It's not easy because finding people that are willing to put speeches with such a delicate subject, you have noticed yourself today that already putting a TV show and talking about these issues is difficult. But we are trying, with Greg Zismansky, we are putting together the Tour of Hope, and also, most important, we have already formed 4 committees of hope, one in Winnipeg in Canada, one in Baktong, Indonesia, one in London, and one in Oslo. And these committees of hope are about people meeting together from different religions, different walks of life, against the New World Order, and finally starting to realize that once we're going to be microchipped, you can't go back. That's it. The New World Order will have full control over you. Okay. And you will be the slave of this occult system.
Leo, some people sent me emails saying that this guy is lying and all he's trying to do is make some money. How would you answer them? That all this is lies?
There is no money.
He just wants to make money.
Where is the money? I have my job, my friend. I have a job with my wife. I'm the managing director of a company. I sell designer radiators. I have my own job, thank God, alhamdulillah. And I don't need to make money on anything else. I come from a family that doesn't have problems. Well, they can't bring us in poverty. The Illuminati are part of us because we are one of their families. Me and my family, the family of my wife, we are families, very particular families, because like she is a Said, I represent for what Said represents in the Middle East, what a Said is in Europe, because I'm directly a cousin of the Queen of England.
So you're rich, is that what you're saying? You don't need the money?
I don't need the money.
Okay. That's okay. We'll leave it at that. I'll tell you what. We're gonna go to New York with Judy. Go ahead, Judy.
Yes.
Sorry?
Yeah, we have a call from New York with Judy. Go ahead, Judy.
Yes, the people who are denying the connection between the Vatican and the Zionists don't seem to be aware of the fact that Henry Kissinger is the papal advisor. And I want to thank you for having this show, Dr. Talawi, because I think that this takes courage, because a lot of people want to have, they don't want to see this connection. People are very, very hung up on their belief system.
Judy, okay. What is the connection? I mean, so what if the Pope is using Henry Kissinger as an advisor? You know Henry
was a member
Kissinger
of the Monte Carlo Lodge.
Hold on, let me. Okay, go ahead, Leo.
Henry Kissinger was a member of the Monte Carlo. He's a member of the Monte Carlo Lodge. He's one of the most influential people within the Vatican headquarters. But because he's a Zionist, and Zionists are very powerful, there is this link, and thank God somebody is recognizing it.
Yeah, I mean, so are you saying that the